Okay, YouTube, welcome back. We're going to continue on with our Day of Days playthrough. If you recall the last video, we had done the airborne drops for both the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions here in Normandy at Utah Beach, west of Utah Beach. And as you can see, they're fairly spread out, but we did get some good rolls, except for down here in the south. This is the only part we're really concerned about. We've got a lot of units coming in on the fourth turn, so we've got 3 companies here. It looks like a full company and 2 half companies. Which could be problematic as far as putting up a defense here for this German section here, as well as the 6th Fallschirmjäger. But we'll deal with it. We've got quite a bit of 101st here. The 82nd landed well, surprisingly, up here by Amfreville. So we should be fine. Right now, looking at the turn here, so we did the airdrops. Now we're going to go on to finish off wave 1 here. So we're going to do the preliminary bombardment, and this is done on turn 1 only. And how you go about doing that is each beach. So if we zoom out here at the entire map, if we're doing the entire campaign game, the entire invasion, each section here, so you've got the Commonwealth section, which is the Brits and the Canadians. You've got Omaha Beach here, and then Utah Beach. So each one of those 3 main invasion spots would get up to 10 airstrike points, if you will. Let me zoom back down here so we can see what we're doing. And what you have to do is it's a 50-50 chance that you're going to get successful well, not even successful airstrikes. It's a 50-50 chance that you're even going to get airstrikes available to you. And what you do, you just roll 1d6, and we roll the 2. And if we look at the rules here, you can see that here down by the landings, where is it? The preliminary bombardment here, available airstrikes, right? So for map A, which is where we're at, we're going to get 10. And on a dice roll of 1 to 3, they conduct airstrikes normally. On a 4 to 6, they stay above the clouds, and you don't get any airstrikes for the preliminary bombardment. We lucked out and rolled a 2, so we're going to get some airstrikes. And what I do, and again, this is just me for target markers. Oh, where is it? There it is. Okay, so this is just how I do it, just to keep track of everything. I go ahead and pull off 10 tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and number 10. And I can assign these anywhere on the map. I believe they have to take out units with a movement value of NA. Let me go ahead and double check that. Drop the beach, put the clouds. Okay, yes, so these attacks may only target hexes containing a strong point or other units with an NA movement allowance. So what that means is, if you look here at these German units that have NA, basically they can't move. They're stationary units. These are the only ones that I can assign. I believe it's both my naval, yeah, so it's both my naval bombardment and airstrikes. So what we want to do, obviously, we want to open up this beachhead here. So we're going to start, oops, we don't want to put that many there. We're going to assign strikes to these. And I want to hit his artillery units as well, because those are the only things that are going to get to retaliate back. So I'm going to start trying to peg these artillery units and kind of clear away for my infantry once they get on the beach. Now I can assign 2 airstrikes per German unit. I'm going to make sure. Oh, I can't hit him. He doesn't have an NA. You know what? I don't think that I can hit these guys up here, because I think these guys are mobile. Oh, nope, they're NA. Okay. What about him? Nope, can't assign one to him. All right, so I can only assign 2 airstrike tokens. Go ahead and put one on him. Per German unit, or per enemy unit. And then I think it's 3 artillery units or 3 artillery tokens or shots, if you will, per German unit as well. All right, so we're going to hit this section up here, we're going to hit this gun, this long-range artillery, German artillery. We're going to hit this strong point, long-range artillery. We're going to hit this artillery, that artillery. There's actually a strong point in here as well. This one we can't hit because it can move. We'll hit that one, and then the ones along the beach. We'll go ahead and drop our target markers for our big guns here off of our, we got 2 cruisers, a battleship, a couple destroyers, and another British cruiser down down south. So we'll just go ahead and assign these guys, you know, where we want to smash them. We'll put another one right there. So artillery, how do you go about doing artillery? So, or barrages as they're called in this game, which kind of encompasses mortars, heavy guns, infantry guns, artillery, airstrikes. They all kind of fit under the barrage profile. You have 2 different kinds. So if you look at these units here, you see it has the 4 in a yellow circle. That means it's a heavy artillery barrage. So basically do a lot of damage. And the whole process of going about doing it is you roll a dice, and you have to get under this number here. So for instance, if we do this airstrike here, and we'll do all the airstrikes and then do the naval strikes. But if we do this airstrike here, we roll 1d6. Let me get rid of the counters here. We roll 1d6, and as long as we roll under it, it hits. Now it hits, well, it doesn't hit automatically, but whatever it hits gets a DG marker. And a DG marker just means disorganized. And if your unit has a disorganized marker on it, all of its stats are halved. And then there's, you know, you round up. So for instance, this unit's defense would be 1.5, you'd round it up to 2. So he's a DG marker, but every time you get a DG marker, you make a kill roll to see if you did actually any physical damage to the unit other than, you know, disorganizing them. And disorganizing, that's just another word of saying, you know, suppressive fire, that type of thing. So once you roll to see if you get a DG marker, you roll again, and now you have to beat the number on a single dice. And if you, well, if you equal or beat it, actually, that's incorrect. You don't equal the number, you need to beat it on a 4 or more, if I recall. And we're just going to go through, yeah, so you roll your kill roll. So if it's a yellow-coated artillery piece, you need a 4 or higher. If it's a German 88 or strong point that's shooting, you need a 5 or higher, and any others, you need a 6. You apply a -1 modifier to the kill roll if there's a single unit in the hex, as this and this unit does not have an NA movement allowance at +1 for each unit that is overstacked above the stacking limit of 3. Okay, so I stand corrected. This unit would just get the DG marker, and the kill roll would actually be a 3 because it's a single unit in the hex. So that one's done. Now we're going to look at, let's go ahead and do this guy here. And you can see I put that just these markers here with the bullseyes. Those are just the target markers for the actual artillery piece. So kind of like I forgot to put that one down. Yeah, we'll put that one there. Actually, we don't want that one there. We want that one here. They're just markers, so when the Germans turn to shoot, you know, we'll take the one with the bullseye and we'll place it on our target. But its parent unit is right here. So you can see it's the exact same chit. It's just one has a target marker on it. It's just for easy labeling of where you're shooting, just a reminder chit, if you will. So let's go ahead and do this one here. We need a 4 or less. All right, so he gets a DG marker, which is good. And now we need, it's a yellow-coated marker, so we need a 4 or higher. And then we're going to get a -1 on our roll because this is a single unit in the hex. It's 4. So again, the best we got on him was a DG. And I'm going to put that marker back under him. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this one. And these guys are attacking this stack here. This one's just out here because I don't know why. That's just where I put it. All right, 5. So 5 is higher than 4. That has no effect. So we get rid of that. All right, same thing with these guys. 6, no effect. and him 1. All right, so he's going to get a DG marker. Oop. He's going to get a DG marker. And then we need a 4 or higher, -1, which is 2, which is nothing. But on the upside is we did DG those artillery pieces, which isn't going to do us any good because they're going to smash us. Maybe. We'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and finish off the airstrikes for these strong points here on the beach. All right. We're just going to work down the line 1. Now, strong points don't get a DG marker, but if they're stacked with a unit like this one, then that unit will get a DG marker, if that makes sense. I rolled a 1. That's a nothing. Oh, wait. Yeah. That's nothing. 2. We get a kill roll, but we don't put a DG marker. 2. Nothing. Our airstrikes are very ineffective today. Nothing. And 3. All right, so because this strong point, now strong point, like I said, doesn't get a DG marker, but this unit stacked with it will. And then we roll for a kill. Is a 5, which is more than 4. So according to the chart, which is more than 4 for a yellow-coated artillery piece or barrage piece. So we end up taking a step loss off of one of these units. Now, because it's a strong point, the strong point has to take the step loss. So we'll flip that there and delete. So that's all of our airstrikes done, which again were grossly ineffective. So now we're going to move on to our naval bombardment. And I think I put 1 too many in here. Oh, no, that's all. All right. So we'll start up here with the Tuscaloosa. We need a 3 or less. Got a 4. It's nothing. 3 or less. 5 is nothing. All right, we'll go with the Nevada here. 6 is nothing. Man, these guys are going to have a rough time on the beach. And you know what? All right, so I'm down here on these last 2. But what I'm doing now is I'm just I'm going to put my target markers back. That way I don't have to fiddle out and go get them. All right, instead of just deleting them. My gosh. All right, last one. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just that 1 there and there, which is abysmal. That's going to make things interesting. All right, so that's a preliminary bombardment, and you only do that on wave 1 or turn 1. So now we do the landings, and how you go about doing the landings is there's 3 different landing zones here at Utah. There's Tear Green, Uncle Red, and Victor. Both these here, Tear Green and Uncle Red, these were the planned landing sites that the Allies were supposed to hit. So these here, this is the section of the beach that the Allies were supposed to hit. What happened was they drifted a little bit south, and they actually historically landed down here at the Victor section of the beaches. So how you go about simulating that in the game is you just roll, it's another 50-50 chance you're either going to land up here where you originally planned, or you're going to land here in the historical section. So we roll a dice, we rolled a 2, and we look at the rules here, which is pretty easy. So if you look down here, Utah Beach, on a roll of 1 to 3, use the actual planned beach hexes for Utah. On a roll of 6, use the historical beaches. So that's kind of cool. So we're going to end up landing here at Tear Green and Uncle Red. Now, under these stacks, you can see it says W1, W2, and W3. That stands for Wave 1, Wave 2, and Wave 3. And we're still on Wave 1. So how you go about divvying up these stacks, because all of this entire stack here is going to hit the beach here at Tear Green, and they're either going to be in this hex or this hex, and you just roll a d6 for them, And if you get a 1, 2, 3, they're landing in the northern hex. 4 through 6 are landing in the southern hex. So we're going to go and do this. So he's landing there. He's landing there. All right. So it looks like the majority hit right there. And same thing for the Uncle Red beach landings here. Four. All right, so not too bad. It's fairly spread out except for up here north, but that's nice because we follow this trail down in here to St. Martin de Verville. All right, so that's the landings. That's the first wave of the landing anyway. And now what happens is the Germans get to shoot. Now, these strong points can spot up to 4 hexes away. So everything here is getting hit. For right now, for wave 1 and 2, the only thing the Germans can shoot at is the stuff on the beach. So they're not targeting the airborne units just yet. And how you go about doing it is fairly easy. Oops, that's supposed to be on top of that infantry unit. All right, so you can see these German units. They're very similar to the other units. You know, these barrage units. They can shoot up to 2 hexes away. That's what that symbol there, that 2 and the kind of beigey circle there. So that's the distance, how many hexes they can shoot. So like these bigger artillery pieces can shoot 16 hexes away. And you go about doing it the same way that we did the other barrage. So what will happen is they can also spot for, you know, a lot of these other artillery units here. And what we'll do is we're going to start dropping markers. So, all right, he's going to target that stack. He's going to target that stack. He'll target them. He'll target them. I know I got some other ones over here. And then we'll just work our way back down. Actually, let's target the bigger hexes here. I think there's, yeah, just that one there. All right, so we definitely want to hit these stacks that have more units in them, just to slow the Allies down. And we may want to hit, let's go hit those tanks, those DD tanks. I believe that's everybody. So he's going to be at really DGing an artillery unit doesn't do much because I don't think you half its value other than the defense. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to do all this artillery. Let me just make sure that I got all of it. There shouldn't be any more markers. Oh, this one here, but I think he might be well out of range. Let's count the hexes here. So if he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, he can hit them. All right. Oop, we got another one down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now he's out of range. If we would have landed here at the historical beaches at Victor, the Victor sector of Utah Beach, then yeah, we probably could have hit something, but he's out of range. All right, so let's go ahead and do these big guns here. This one is a 6. Now, I believe there actually may be, let me just double check here, on the beach for barrage. Yeah, so you get a -1 on the beach for barrage rolls. So he actually rolled a 6, would make it a 5, so that doesn't do anything. We're going to stick these here, and I'll put these back on their respective units when I'm done. 6, that's a nothing. 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 Well, at least the German roll is just as ineffective as the American roll, it seems. There we go. Finally got a hit. So this stack here is going to get a DG, as well as now we're going to roll to see what kind of damage it does. So if we get a 3 or higher, we got a 4. Let's go ahead and take it off the tank company. Flip. And we're going to roll for them. 2, -1, yep. That's now, if you get another DG marker on a stack that has DG, it's no effect, but the only difference is you do still get the kill roll for it. So we need a 2 or higher. That's going to hurt. It's going to eliminate that tank unit. Send to graveyard. All right, so that's the German barrage. That's just talking about point to hawk. I just want to briefly take a peek here. Strong points can be more DG. All right, so that was it. All right, so let me put these. I'll go back and put those. I'm not going to waste you guys' time watching me put these markers back. I'll remember to do it. So we've done the German barrage. Now we do Allied movement. Now, per the rules for both Wave 1 and Wave 2, the Allies can only move. Oh, before we do that, we didn't do these. Let's do the strong points right quick before I forget, because they do get their shot. That's a no. He's attacking him. He's on the beach, so that is a -1. So I bring it down to 2. Now we need to roll a 2 or higher. All right. So that is a DG and a step loss. We're going to take the step loss off of, well, I guess it doesn't matter here. We'll take it off of one of these infantry companies. And that stack gets DG'd. All right, so he's going to attack this stack. Nope. And then he's going to attack this stack. Nope. All right. So now we're done with the German barrage, and we're on to Allied movement. Per the rules, we can only move 1 hex. So it's going to be slow going. So we're just going to shuffle them kind of around here. We're going to try to push these guys south. Because we want to make use of these trails and these roads, because moving through these flooded hexes is going to slow us down. I think it costs 2 movement points to move through a flooded hex. Let's see here, flooded, yeah. I'm sorry, it costs 3, so that's no good. But if we're traveling, you know, on a trail or the road, we're going to get off the beaches a lot quicker. And we need to start making way because we've got a lot of stuff coming in behind us. So now that we've moved, now it's the Allies' turn to attack. Or I'm sorry, it's the Allies' turn to barrage. So just like we did with the preliminary bombardment, we're going to do it again. Only difference is we don't have any airstrikes. But we do have all of this naval bombardment here. And let me double check, because I think I can only use destroyers for this section. Where is it? So just bear with me while I look through it. It actually may be in the section about Utah Beach. Landings. Naval units. Here we go. Or maybe not. I could have sworn there was something on here. Star 1 and 2 only audience have landed via naval landings. No. Yes, here it is. Naval units cannot barrage except for DEs and DD units, which can do so on turn 2. Okay. It's 1, 2. All right. So we can't do those, right? Cannot barrage except for DE and DD units. Except for DE and DD units. This says they can do it on turn 2. All right, well, we'll do the landings and fight it out. So we're not going to barrage. At least that's how I interpret that rule. So if any of you guys know, correct me. But I believe that is correct. So we need to start busting these bunkers. But let's see what we've got as far as barrage. We do have some mortar units here that we can use. We're going to go ahead and shoot this mortar unit here at this stack. So just like the other ones. All right, so we got a 3, which is equal to or less than. So he already has a DG marker, but we do get a kill roll. We need to roll a 3 or higher. All right, so that's going to eliminate that strong point, which is good. And then now we have another one. We've got him. We're going to shoot it at that guy. So again, all right, so that's a hit and a kill roll of 2, which is nothing. So that takes care of the Allied barrage, and now we do the Allied combat. Now the Allied combat, there's no difference between the Allied combat and the German combat. It's both done exactly the same. And what you do is basically you count up your stack here that's attacking. And you add up their firepower value. So if we're looking here, this is a DD tank here, which is 5, plus an infantry company, which is 2. That makes it 7. And we're not going to count that mortar company because we used him to barrage. So artillery units don't count towards your attack value, even if they're in your stack. And then we've got these guys here, but of course, because they're DG'd, they only fight at half strength. So that's going to be, instead of a total of 4 here, it's going to be 2. So 2, 4, 9? A total of 9. And what kind of... All right, so 9 to 4, which is going to be 2-to-1 odds. So if we look at our combat results table, we look at the odds here. You see we're in 2-to-1. Let's check our tech here, our terrain effects chart, and see what he has here. All right, so the attacker is at half value. So 9 divided by 2 is 4.5 because he is fighting out of a, you can see it's a flooded hex. So he is fighting out of a flooded hex. Or actually, you know what? That might just be a beach hex. That's a beach hex. So it's got the red box, so it doesn't count towards a flooded hex. Normally it would if it didn't have, beach landing. I guess that's kind of, they gave you kind of a break there. So, all right, so we're fighting 2-to-1 odds. You simply roll 2d6, and we got a 3 plus 3, which is a 6. So 2-to-1, we end up here, which is an A1 result, which is attacker loses 1 step. That was a not good roll, and we can take that off of whomever we like. And we're going to take it off of one of these infantry companies here. That's a real bummer because if we would have been able to kill him, well, we would have been able to take a step or maybe push him back, force him to retreat, but it looks like we're going to be here for another turn. So we're going to do the same thing up here in the north. We're going to total this all up. So 1 plus 1. Well, actually, we'll just total it all up and then divide. That may be easier. So 2, 4, 5, so 2.53. All right, 3 plus 5 is what, 8? 8 to 5, which is going to be nasty. And he's actually going to, and this is something I need to look. I need to know if roads, normally roads negate like any terrain effects, like when moving, but I don't think, yeah, so they don't affect combat. So he is definitely fighting out of a flooded hex here. So his combat value is going to be halved, so 2.5, so he's actually going to be fighting at 3. It's going to be 3 plus 3 is 6, and then 6 to 5 here is what? What does it end up equaling out to? Let's see here. 6 divided by 5, 1.2. Actually, is it 5 divided by 6? No. So it's 1.2, so it's going to be a 1-to-1 odds, which if we roll high, you know, that'll be nice, but we rolled a 3, which is attacker 1, retreat 1. So attacker is going to lose a step. I'm going to go ahead and take it off of this graveyard here. I'm going to go ahead and send it on that guy. Bye-bye. And then we need to retreat 1 hex away from the enemy. So I'll just push him back there. I don't think he can go to the beach. That may be prohibited. Movement cost is 2. It's not a beach hex, though. Traditional beach hex. Let's see here. I guess push him back. Let's push him that way. So he's not going closer to him. He's going further away from him. There's not really anywhere else I can push any of these guys to. So that's kind of an odd retreat. Normally, if you can't retreat, you take additional step losses. And let me go ahead and review, because this will be good for you guys to know as well. Other airstrikes road marches. It may be in the core rules. There may not be any special rules for it. So let's look here. All right, retreats are given as a number of hexes. Let's see, the only player selects the unit to take the losses. Check's not retreated. Well, you know, we can do it like this. Move him back. So we lost that other unit. That would be the loss. And then we're going to suck up this retreat as a loss as well. So you can choose, if you don't want to retreat, you can just take another step loss. And that's just what we did here at the beach. So we lost the other unit, which would have been the initial step loss, which would be the A1 result. And then we're going to lose another step for taking the retreat result as a step loss. That's just the easiest way to do it. And so that really ends wave 1. So wave 2, we're going to blow through this pretty quickly as well, because it's really the same. I'm going to do it kind of quick. So we don't do the airdrops. We don't do the preliminary bombardment. I don't think there's any. Let's see. They come in on turn 4. They come in on turn 3. Okay, so there's no reinforcements coming. So we do the landings. So just as we did before. Now this guy here is actually going to land. This destroyer makes way, and you just place the boat out there. So we're going to roll the dice for these guys. It's a 1, 4. And you can see the beach hexes are getting filled up. quite rapidly. All right, we'll do down here. 3. But hopefully we can start pushing our way off these beaches. 5. All right. Now, if you are in a beach hex, it doesn't count towards your stacking limit. And what stacking means is just how many chits, how many units you can have in a stack. In Day of Days, it's a total of 3. If you've got more than the stacking limit, you automatically place a DG marker on that stack. But I believe, and I'm going to double check, if you're actually in a beach landing hex, then the stacking limit doesn't count. And we're going to look it up right here. So units may only overstack as a result of a retreat, airdrops, or landings, and all units in an overstacked hex can defend. All units in a hex that is overstacked at the end of the friendly movement phase, exploitation, is DG'd. So we just landed those guys. It's going to be a German barrage turn. And this is where we're going to get hammered again. Oops. So we'll go ahead and put them out here where we want them. We want these big stacks. We definitely want to hit those. And then we'll just divvy them up here. And I'm not going to worry about, I know that all these stacks can be hit, you know, from before. So even though the numbers might not correspond, I know the big stacks here, the big guns, you know, they shoot 20 hexes. I know they can reach all the way down here. So we're going to go and do the German bombardment. We'll start up here on this stack. That's a nope. He needs a 3 or less. All right, so this guy gets a DG, and that applies for everybody between him and him. And now we need to roll a 3 or higher, which is a 1, which is a nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. I tell you, this Artie is not very effective today. Okay, so he's going to get a DG token, and he's only a single unit in this hex. So what happens is, remember, we're going to subtract 1 from the kill roll, which would be a 1. So there is no kill. So that's good. Nope. All right. So wow, he just smashed that whole stack. And then 3 or higher, we have 5. All right. So who do we want to lose it on? I'm going to take it off of one of these infantry companies. All right, and then let's do these guys here. Again, he's going to be attacking the large stack. Whew. He hits 2 or higher. Oh man, he does not cause any damage. No. All right, so he hits, but it's going to be a -1 because he's a single unit. No. Actually, that's a yes. That's a 6. So, because he's a, I think I may have screwed up one of those German artilleries, but I'm not going all the way back. We'll just chalk it up to a learning experience. But he rolled a 6 for a strong point unit, which would be, they only need a 5 or higher. So he actually hits and kills. Or you might not kill, but he takes a step loss off of this guy. There we go. Alright. And he can't barrage, because he's not a barrage-capable unit. Alright, so there you go. That's the German barrage. Now it's Allied movement. Again, we can only move 1 hex. So we're going to slowly get off the beach. That's the name of the game. And I really want these units not to bog down here. Alright, I'm going to move this stack further south. It's a real bummer that we didn't break any of those out, but c'est la vie. But we do have a lot of artillery that landed, so at least we got that. Alright, we're going to move him. We're going to move him. we're going to move him. Alright, and I got to put a DG marker on these guys because they were damaged. And who do we have here? Alright, so we've got some more artillery and a lot of infantry units. We're definitely going to push these infantry units, these infantry companies, these line companies. We need to get them up off the beach. I'm going to move him, and they are DG'd. Which way do I want to go with this guy? You know what? I'm going to bring him south. He is not DG'd. Okay. Alright, so there's Allied movement. You can see we're slowly making our way to these trails. My plan is to, obviously once we get rid of that, is I'm going to push some of these companies south along these trails, and then north out here towards St. Martin de Varville to link up with the 101st here. That way we can get a good beachhead and get off this beach. We have to get rid of these strong points, or it's just going to slow us down. So we've done the Allied movement, and now it's on to the Allied barrage. You know what? Let's go ahead. I think I'm going to move some more of these units out of here, just because. Actually, who's in here? I kind of want to free up some of these hexes for the beach. So he moved one. All right. Well, that's going to be as good as we can do. So let's go ahead and do the Allied barrage. It is turn 2, which means we get to use the boats, but we only get the destroyers. So that's going to be 3417, 2010, and I believe him. Yep. So I really want to get rid of this guy here. Actually, you know what? I really want to get rid of both of these. So let's go ahead and do it like this. All right, we'll start up north. Let's see, and you got to do each one of these individually. So we'll use the 87th Kim here. We're going to fire. He needs a 4 or less. He hits. Now he needs a 4 or more, which is going to be a 5 or more because he's a single unit, which is a 5, so he takes a step loss. Finally, something good. All right, so these mortars here are going to fire. 3 or less. Nothing. I don't have anything. All right, he's going to fire at this guy here. 3 or less. He hits. 3 or more. It's actually a 4 or more. 5, step loss. All right, we got a lot of artillery here, a lot of mortars. So the first one, how many do we have here? We have 3. I'm going to put 2 on him and 1 on this guy here. So we'll do the first one. He hits. 4 or more. All right, so he's eliminated. Now, because I did say I was going to put 2, I'm not going to go back on it. So he's fired here, but the dude's already dead. So I'm going to fire this guy at him. 2, he hits. 4 or more. No dice. All right, nothing. All right, let's do this artillery here. We'll do the first destroyer. He hits. Nothing. Second destroyer. Misses. Third destroyer. Misses. All right, well, that's all right. We blew a hole open. That counts for something, right? All right, put that back up there. And now we're on to Allied combat. And then we'll be done with the first 2 turns. So again, starting up here, we're going to total it up. So this is 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's 2, 4, 6, half. So that's 3, plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. Actually, 4 plus, shoot, these guys are going to be coming out of a whatchamacallit hex as well. All right, so 3, it would be 3, 2, 4, 6. Half for the DG would make it 3, and then half again for the flooded hex, which make it 1.5. So really that's 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, and 3 plus 3 is 6. So 6 to 3, that's 2 to 1 odds. So we're rolling on a 2 to 1 odds table here. Roll high. 6. Damn. Attacker 1. All right. So we need to lose a unit here. So we're going to lose it on him. I'm telling you, these strong points are stubborn. In this instance here, I'm just going to use this stack to attack this guy right here. So it's a 5, or yeah. So half of 5 is 2.5, so that's 3, 4, 5. And he's on a beach hex, so yeah. So 5 attacking 2. So 5, 2 is a 2 point what? Where's our calculator? It's too late in the evening. 2 divided by 5. Oop, no, sorry. 5 divided by 2. 2.5, so it's 3 to 1 odds. It's a little bit better. Not really, not when you roll a 3. That's still attacker 1. Horrible. All right, and then is there an infantry unit in here? There is. Okay. So all of these guys are going to attack the strong point here. Ah, but you know what? Shoot, I didn't notice that those were mostly artillery. Oh well. So 1, 2, 3. 3 to 5, or 5 to 3. 3. No, that's not right. 3 divided by 5.6. So 1 to 1 odds. On a 1 to 1, we roll in 11, which is a defender 1, retreat 1. Strong points can't retreat, so this guy's actually sent to the graveyard. Now, because I eliminated the unit there, we can advance. It's called advance after combat. And if we look right here, we will see it. Right, where is it? Bum, bum, bum. Organize units. Oh, you know, it's in here. Overrun, restrictions on movement. Basically what it says is if you get a result that, you know, advance after combat here, anytime an attack causes the defender's hex to become vacant, the attacking units can occupy the hex. The attacker player chooses which units, if any, he wants to advance with. So I'm going to actually advance with my infantry into this hex. And I'm going to leave my mortars there. So that's it, guys. That takes care of the first 2 turns. If we look at the turn chart, so we're going to be going into the morning of June 6th. So that takes care of the landings, the initial landings anyway, wave 1 and wave 2. And then when we start turn 3 in the next video, that's when we start doing this a little bit more fleshed out, intensive turn sequence where we'll start getting reinforcements in. We can start road marching units. The beach units aren't restricted to only moving 1 hex anymore. They can move their full unit or full movement. We'll be able to start removing some of these DG counters, so units will be able to fight and move at their and defend at their full potential, as well as exploitation and supply phase, which I'll explain those when we get to them. So let's zoom out here and see how we've done. So we've put a hole in the German defensive line here at Utah Beach. Not as much as we wanted to. We've taken a couple hits, which is expected. But you know, it is what it is. That's how it goes. We've got some pretty big stacks coming in on the next turn. I believe the Germans have yeah, the 91st Infantry Division is going to come in at C and D entry points, which are over here in the west. So they're going to have some infantry units coming in to reinforce them. Our next stack of reinforcements, excuse me, doesn't come in until turn 4. Well, that's not true. We will get these guys, which is the wave 3, the turn 3 guys coming on the beach, and then in turn 4 at Utah, the Americans will get all of this, which is quite a lot. But again, it's a process of funneling them through the beach hexes, and then getting out of this flooded area. So that's why we really want to open up these roads and trails. That way we can start pushing inland at a quick pace. We'll also be able to start moving out the airborne units, because they can't move on turns 1 and 2, but turn 3 we're going to be able to start moving them towards their objectives. So overall game plan for them is going to be kind of consolidate. The 82nd have to consolidate around these 2 bridges. If they can't make it within, I think it's like 5 hexes of the bridges, then they have to make it within 5 hexes of a drop zone marker. But because we rolled fairly well with all of our airborne units as far as scattering, we're all within 5 hexes of an airborne marker, except for maybe this guy. But no, he's within 5 right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that shouldn't be a problem. Probably going to move some of these full companies here further south just to bolster up, because we are going to have to make a push onto Carentan, which is going to be problematic. The Germans have some pretty hard infantry units here with the 914th Infantry Regiment here. I can't remember what division they are, but they're 3-5 units, so they're very strong in defense, and they hit pretty hard. As well as we've got the 3rd Fallschirmjäger down here, which are, again, they're pretty hard units. So that's what we'll do. We'll start moving Americans from the beach down these trails, moving them south. As the Germans, we're going to try, I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to send this group of Germans here and try to take advantage of this weak 101st airborne drop in the far south. I mean, they only got 1 full company and 2 half companies, so we may be able to wipe those out before the dispersed units come in. In the center, it's kind of hit and miss. We'll probably reconsolidate some of these Germans if we can. Up in the north, there's not much we can do here. There's a couple infantry units that we can shuffle about. Another armor unit here. I'll go into what this black and white, or this yellow bar means. It's an exploitation capable unit. You can see some of them have it. That won't come into play until turn 3, where we'll be able to actually use it. The Germans also have some captured French tanks, some French armored units here out of the 100th Panzer. And I think I may push them, because the Americans landed kind of weakly down here, or in a weak state. I may push these panzers up through Buesville, Bastille, and block off the 82nd up here, either up here or up here. I haven't decided yet, but that's what we'll do. We're going to zoom out one last time. You can see how the battle's developing. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Again, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so you can catch the next video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Again, if I made any rules errors and you guys play this game and let me know. That way I don't keep making the same errors. I am still learning, but yeah. Let me know how you guys like it. Post down in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.